38 points, Tyrese Haliburton. Sorry I'm late. I was listening to the post-game show with him right now, listening to him talk about the game, breaking it all down. I thought it was really interesting, especially his last comment about playing a two-man game. But really, what it comes down to in the NBA is making that one-on-one play. It's that individual player making that special play. He made a special play, sidestep in the corner, big time three-point shot. I think that's what he was referring to in terms of the pick and roll. When he is being successful in the pick and roll with Rashawn Holmes or with anyone really, but he's right. And those are the things that have concerned me about his game is when defenses start to focus on him. Obviously tonight, 38 points, big time night. Did not expect that. I don't think anyone expected that. I don't think he expected that, but that's a great sign. That truly is a great sign for Tyrese. It shows that he is capable of doing things like this. Now, what I'm interested in is, can he duplicate? And I'm not saying score 38 points again, but I'm saying like score like 25 the next game, 24 or 27. You know, those types of games. You can't follow up two awful performances, then a great performance, and then a so-so or a bad performance. That would just, again, that's just what the Kings have done the last 15 years, right? They have talent, but they haven't been able to put it together. And that's where I'm interested to see what Tyrese can be and what he will do. I also thought it was interesting to think about, I don't know who it was who asked him about if they should have gone for the two, which would have gone to overtime. And I think Rashawn Holmes was open. Quick little bounce pass because the defense was all over the place, right? And they did a good job of recovering on Harrison Barnes and Tyrese, but Rashawn Holmes was open for that bounce pass, especially since Joel Embiid was a bit out of position. He could have just slid that in there. But it didn't happen, right? Hindsight 2020 in the moment. I think they were trying to go for the three, and it wasn't a good shot, in my opinion. It was a very forced shot. But Tyrese could have also taken that floater. But I just felt like with Thibault on your back, on your hip, maybe he thought he could have just, swatted that. That's a possibility. The game of basketball is literally making a decision split second. That's what makes the goods. That's what separates the goods from the greats. And Tyrese's IQ was off the charts, and I just felt like you got to trust him on that one where he kicked it out. You know, maybe if he was a tad more crafty in terms of a score, he could have just understood that if he just stopped on the dime like a Trae Young, right, like a Luka Doncic, like those types of players, could have drawn the foul and gone to the free throw line and tied the game that way. But again, when it comes down to it, like he said, the one-on-one player got to make the play. He decided to kick it back out to Harrison Barnes, and we saw the result. It was a air ball pretty much. It was long. But yeah, man, it was a fun game. It was a surprise game. They covered, right? They were plus 11 for the game. We got the Raptors in the Heat right now battling it out, 105-103. The Nets are coming back, 84-85. They were down by 19. And the Kings, plus 11 covered down the stretch. If you look at the in play, they were also like plus 7.5. I think it got up to the highest because they were down by, I don't know, about 6, 7. I think they were down. No, I'm dumb. They were down by 10 at one point, right? After that ridiculous 3-point play, which thankfully he missed that free throw in Joel Embiid. But man, it's nice if you do bet them. I didn't touch the game today, but obviously I was keeping my eye on it just to monitor some of the things. And I just thought it was interesting. He can never trust his team, though, because you just don't know what team is showing up. The odds are you bet against them, good things happen. Like tonight, if you bet against them, like if you bet the Sixers, you're probably upset because I think a lot of people were on the Sixers tonight. But that's the NBA. On any given night, you get crazy results. The Raptors have tied the game 105-105 overtime. It might look like it might head to a double overtime. I got action on this game. I got the Raptors for 100. But we'll see what happens there. Wow. But yes, the game. Marvin Bagley started the game, 6 points, 3 of 6, 9 rebounds. I thought it was a solid game. Again, he's a nice role player if he understands and he buys into the system. If he buys into what they're trying to, not what they're trying to make him into, or that too, but if he understands what he needs to do to be a successful role player, he's going to be just fine. So +2 for the game. I like that. Harrison Barnes, 39 minutes tonight, 5 of 16, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive rebound, total of 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 16 points. That's a Harrison Barnes type game. Right now, he's averaging 16.5 and 6 boards a game. As I said, and I'm going to say it again, I believe overall he's a better player than Tobias Harris. Now, some people may disagree. It's super close. Tobias is the better offensive player, in my opinion. But even tonight, 16 points. Again, 7 12, 8 rebounds. Very similar, but he's getting paid double, right? 18 points a night, almost 19 points, 7.5 rebounds. I can't justify that as I'm worth double what Harrison Barnes. And Harrison Barnes is overpaid to some extent, right? I still think he's worth about 18 million for sure. But at 20, what's he at? 22? You double that for Tobias. It's not worth it. Shout out to Tobias' dad or is his uncle who's managing his contracts. That's crazy. Yeah, man. If they trade for Tobias, I would be very upset. I said that last show. But Harrison Barnes had a solid game today. Rashawn Holmes, he continues to show you that in the high post, he can make that bounce pass. And that's something that the Kings need to highlight more because, again, not as much talent, but I can envision Rashawn Holmes on a better team and how much more effective he would be. They just, he's just not highlighted enough because it seems not very good. And at 18-33, that's where they're at. But 10 points plus 11. When he was out there, he was pretty effective. 4 or 6 from the field. How's everybody doing? I don't want the overreactions. I was joking on Twitter. Maybe the Sixers trade Ben Simmons for Tyrese Haliburton. Not going to happen. They're going to ask for more. But I know a lot of fans are going to come in here and... Oh, am I moving that? Oh, I am moving that. Okay. They're going to come in here, guns blazing. What's up, Patrick? What's up, Justin? What performance from Haliburton. What up, Leo? We definitely should have went for that tie. Backcourt looked good with Haliburton an off night. I think that's a direction the Kings need to go. So we were on the 6th straight loss. Now what, Leo? Should we tank or make the splash? We got to make the splash of a deal, brother. All I got to say is, wow, with Haliburton was like LaMelo Ball tonight. LaMelo's pretty good, bro. There's tiers to this. LaMelo is special. If we can pair John Collins with Hallie, we might have something. Yeah, he's one of the better players in the pick and roll for sure. And he's shooting a high clip from beyond the arc, I believe, this season. Fox is gone, in my opinion. That's why he's sitting out. Potentially. Tobias ain't worth the money. Facts. HB and Davion plus a protected for John Collins. Harrison may not be worth that money, but he didn't ask for it. The Sixers gave it to him. Harris may not be worth that money. Yeah, it's crazy because that contract is what allowed Jimmy Butler to go to the Heat. Like, think about that and how that has hurt the Philadelphia 76ers, right? Just a huge mistake. Jimmy, obviously, much better player. Jimmy is a Batman. This guy's a superstar. Tobias Harris is a nice role player. And that's what it is. Like, Tobias Harris should be your third best player. That's what he was with Ben Simmons in the full. Right now, he got to be second best player. And I would be shocked if they don't deal Ben Simmons. I know they're asking for a lot. Daryl Morey playing his cards the right way, potentially the ownership having some say in that. But I would be shocked if they waste Joel's season. potential MVP this year. They're right there in terms of the standings at 30 and 19. It's wide open for really anybody to take reins of the number one seed. Ah, man, it's hard for me to buy into the fact that their pride will get in the way in terms of not getting talent or just supplementing that huge hole that Ben Simmons is leaving on that team because that team is already so good. If you add those extra pieces like a Harrison Barnes, like a Buddy Hield, who is on a cold streak, you best believe with a guy like Joel Embiid, he's going to get much cleaner shots. And right now, it's just a matter of him just being on the cold streak. It's happened before. He's bound to go on another hot streak, which will most likely happen. That's what really good shooters do. That's what Buddy Hield is. And they're still top blocking him. They're still playing him very tight. That hasn't changed, and that creates, that gravity creates spacing for the Kings and for anybody who wants the services. That's just a fact. So, he went 23 minutes, 0 of 3, 0 of 7 from beyond the arc, 2 points, 8 rebounds. He was a +1. That's crazy, but I can see it because he was doing other things to keep himself out there at 23 minutes. But star of the night, obviously, we can talk about Davion, right? In 33 minutes, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. He shot the ball well, 15 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. His shot is his shots always look good. It's just a matter of will it fall, will it not. I think he has the work ethic and the drive for that shot to go in eventually. He progressively got better in college, and I expect that at the NBA level to be at least 38% from beyond. I believe that's very realistic for a guy like Davion Mitchell who has super clean mechanics, like super clean. What's up, Tyson? We have the best offer, don't we, Patrick? Uh, how's it going, Leo? How's the new computer? It's better. Obviously, it's not the one that I wanted. It's right in front of me. That's why I'm using the old one to stream stuff because I still got most of the files and applications on the 2016 model. So far, I got the MacBook Pro 21 this year's version with the Pro chip and not the Max chip. The Max chip is what I was looking for with at least a 32 unified RAM with the storage doesn't really matter to me because I work off of hard drives anyway, but I was looking for the Max, but you really can't get your hands on it because they're 3.5 months out if you order it, and I ain't got the time because I got to edit this TV show, The 2 Minute Drill, which will be available on Apple TV, so stay tuned for that. It's very Shark Tank ish. It's a fun show. I just needed a new computer because my computer could have handled 3 hard drives and all the GPU and how it's reading. It was buffering for too long and it was killing me and with time, and it's keeping me away from from producing more basketball content as well because I was super frustrated. But we do got a DeJounte Murray video coming out very very soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe for more content like that. It's a great video. I'll be honest with you guys. A great job by Corey in editing that video. Who else played well today? Metu, 18 minutes, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, 2 of 5, 5 points. Jones had a nice game, 9 points, 4-4. He was a -11. Most of it probably because he got scored on. But it wasn't a matter of like, oh, I'm just going to lay down and get scored on. It was just some players are really good in the NBA and they just get buckets. Joel Embiid, 35 minutes, 36 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 block. Guy's just a beast, man. He's a lot to handle. He is a lot to handle. A guy is just a handful. He's a large man, and yeah. Knicks insider thinks Randall for Fox is possible. Randall is terrible. I prefer Collins. Yeah, I would be devastated if they traded Fox to Julius Randle. I'll be honest with you. What are you hearing? I haven't heard Julius Randle connect a link to the Kings, but you never know. If that's the case, you can't give up Tyrese or Fox for him. Uh, who would you want us to go? I want Ben Simmons. I'm very adamant about it. Obviously, I want Jalen Brown, but that's not gonna happen. The Celtics would be silly to trade Jalen Brown. Who would you want? Yeah, so I would be Jalen Brown and Ben Simmons. What's the issue with Fox? The issue, honestly, I haven't asked. I can reach out to his manager, Family Sports, or well, his agent really, or his manager as well. But what do you say when the reports are right? What the Kings are telling us is that his ankle is sore. That sounds a lot like if he just fill in the gaps. He's probably, I don't know if he'll get traded, but maybe they're trying to work out a deal. I just feel like Monty McNair would not trade Halliburton. Halliburton is his guy. Like, that's his first draft pick. He's gonna want to keep Halliburton at all costs. I truly believe that. I haven't really publicly said that, but I just don't think he's gonna move him. And I believe he would move Fox before he moved Halliburton. Whether I agree or disagree with that, because I would disagree with that, but that's just the situation that the Kings are in right now. Whether you like it or not, Mike McNair is a GM. He's going to do what he thinks is best for the organization to save his job. And he needs to make a move regardless. Like, he needs to make a move. That's apparent, right? Whether he makes the move or not, that will determine if he keeps his job. And I know that's crazy because he just got hired, but you got pieces to make things happen, man, and he needs to make things happen because at 18 and 33, most people would say season's over. But when I look at the standings, and I know it's premature in a way, but not really because it's still wide open. They're only 3 games back. Sorry, 4 games back. They're 4 games back of the 10 seed. If they make the right move, I believe they're more talented than the Pelicans and Spurs and the Blazers. I truly believe that. With the right move, they can get to 10. Now, whether that's successful or not, I personally don't care. Like, I just want to see them get a chance to make the playoffs. Say they get Minnesota. Like, the Clippers, to me, at 25 and 26, that could be a potential matchup. I think the Lakers will get 7 because they'll make a move most likely, or unless they get hurt, like LeBron gets hurt, then their season's over. But it's literally right there for them. The Kings could beat the Clippers or the Timberwolves if they would face them in that first, and then they just go into the second game for a playoff berth. As crazy as that sounds, man, it is still very possible if you make the right move. It's interesting to think about what direction they'll head in, right? Are they going to sell? Still, the reports are that they're trying to buy. Like, they're buyers. There's a lot of pressure on Monty. That's the direction I would take. The Kings have never been buyers in terms of actually landing a star, right? They always land these role players at the deadlines, and they don't move the needle. They need to move the needle. They need, for job security reasons, they need to move the needle. And that's just what it is, man. Like, what do you think is fair for a Simmons deal? I think you got to include either Fox or Tyrese. I'm being honest. Like, in the perfect world, I would want to keep both. Like, duh, I'm keeping talent and adding talent, but you got to give away good players to get great players, and that's just the way it is. But it just comes down to how desperate they are or how desperate they're not, right? Are they patient enough to bite the bullet and say, after your season, Joel, I'm a rock with what I got and maybe make a minor move here and there, but in terms of Ben Simmons, I'm keeping him for the offseason. My chances are better there. I don't agree with that. I still don't think you land James Harden. I think your best case is someone desperate enough like Portland. Again, like, I think if Dame and CJ were healthy, and then you trade CJ for Ben Simmons and you had a pick, that makes sense. But without those two in the fold, it's tough. It's tough. Like it's wide open, man. It's crazy, but it's wide open. Funny thing is, we'll probably have the Spurs end up there once again because they're the damn Spurs. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. Uh, Philly doesn't want Fox, but Pels and Knicks do. I think Fox wants to get traded. I can't blame him. Yeah, it's tough right now, man. It's a tough situation, but again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You got a DeJounte Murray video coming out. It's a video breakdown. It's good stuff there. I got some new torches. My first torches for the fish tank. Team No Tank. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot more development. Hopefully, with this new laptop, I can finish my work faster to then, produce more YouTube content. I truly apologize for the lack of content the last month. The beginning of this year has been pretty rough in terms of basketball content, but it's coming. It's coming. It's also depressing when you cover a team like the Kings and they don't give you much to talk about. So the effort is really lackadaisical from, my side and their side in terms of, well, if you want coverage, you got to play well, right? Like, what are you going to say on back-to-back losing by 70 plus points? Like, that's tough. That's super tough, being down 33 points at the half. Like, what the hell do you say besides yell and scream and just, act silly on the internet? It's tough. It's tough when you see the talent, and this is one of the more talented teams the Kings have had. The Kings have had, and there's just a joke of a franchise. Like it's disappointing. It really is. It like boggles you down. Duh, it's gonna make you feel a certain way, right? Um, what about Sabonis? Would you? Yeah, I love Sabonis. It just depends on what the cost is. You don't move the needle if you get rid of Fox. Honestly, you don't. I personally like Sabonis more than John Collins, but that's me. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't want a John Collins trade. That just means I think Sabonis is a better player. It just truly depends what you are willing to give up. Now, if you can give a Bagley and a Buddy or a Harrison Barnes and some picks, let's do it. You keep Tyrese, you keep Fox, you keep Sabonis. Do you move the needle then? I believe you do. You just go from there. You go from there. Can Davion Harrison and the pick gets the bonus for a trade? I think that's fair. I would want instead of Davion, add a second pick and add like a filler, right? That's what I would want to do. They get expiring deals, and you get picks from the Kings that are, that could be very valuable. That's what I would do, man. If you guys have any questions, again, I'll be on it. I'll be producing more content this year, this month, this upcoming month. The month's almost over. We're going to start fresh February 1st. Tomorrow is football day, right? Niners, Rams. I think the spread is plus 3.5. Should be very interesting to watch. The Niners have a great shot at making the Super Bowl. Make no mistake about it. You're going to get a different Rams team. Now, you're going to face a Rams team much more focused. A Rams team coming off a win against the GOAT and Tom Brady. A Rams team that the Niners do a great job with Donald, right? He needs to have a big game for them to have a chance. And it truly comes down to, does Matthew Stafford show up? Because if he does, they'll win the game. And that's a fact, because I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners have been getting some crazy-ass plays from special teams and from their defense. And that's just the truth. Jimmy Garoppolo has to play very well for them to win tomorrow. I promise you that. If he doesn't, they're not going to win the game. all this in the snow punt, and that's cool. But Jimmy Garoppolo got to play better. That's simple. That's simple. Could be his last game. Regardless, I don't think they'll beat the Bengals or the Chiefs if they make it. It would still be an accomplishment if they make it. In my opinion, especially the way they started the season, that's insane. Like, if you would have told me that team makes Super Bowl, that's a win, right? But regardless, Mahomes a bad man. Oh, Mahomes a bad man, dude. 13 seconds, huh? That's all it takes for this man. That's crazy. The Raiders, man. Damn, man. Like, I hope they don't hire McDaniels. I would be destroyed and upset if they hire McDaniels again from the Patriots. I like the defensive coordinator for the Niners. I think he's the guy. I would prefer him to be the head coach. Focus on defense. I love Derek Carr, but if you can get Aaron Rodgers, go get Aaron Rodgers. If you can't keep Derek Carr, get Devontae Adams, right? Best friends, the Fresno State connection. And you go in that direction. I love Derek Carr. He's a tier under all these really elite guys. He's not there, but he's not like in the other tier either. Like he's pretty close. He'll win you games. And that's why I like Derek Carr. He just never had a great defense. But this year he had his best defense ever. So, and you saw what they did. So that's going to do it, y'all. Follow me on all social media platforms. Love you guys. Kings lose again. What's new? Peace.